Beep, 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 beep. Turn on your computer, dial up the web, download some information into your head. It's Dr. John and Delilah, they're having a great time. Data to do, it's simply true, we're the Sexperts.
And we're recording, and intro music, and hi there, welcome to the Sexperts. I am your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM.
And I'm Delilah Haydair, online therapist.
That's right. And I'm glad you're an online therapist because, as you can tell from Delilah's shitty-sounding microphone, we are currently in a pandemic situation here. But rest assured, we are your Sexperts, and we have been your Sexperts for 57-some years combined total.
Yeah, and Dr. John, I want to take this time to apologize officially and formally for all my mocking over the years of all your prepping activities. I thought it was a little bit overkill to build a bunker with a soundproof bunker with mics and mic stands. But thanks to your diligent efforts, we're able to keep this nationally syndicated podcast going through some of the toughest times we've ever seen. That's
right. And let's see, if you could see me now, I actually am in my sound bunker. And it's quite quiet. It's actually relaxing. I did not invite Delilah into it.
Yeah, about that. Why is there not room for two? This is we had two hosts of this podcast.
I just figured you'd be dead now. You have a really risky lifestyle. You shake hands with everyone. You insist on doing the double shake, where you have two hands and you shake both hands at once.
That's how much I mean it.
Well, I appreciate that, but not in a pandemic world. Anyways, we're getting a little off topic, which is not what we do here. We go on topic. In fact, we come to you live every week from a different location with a different topic of the day. And this week we're actually coming to you. I'm coming from my bunker. And where are you right now, Delilah?
I am at my office where I lay down on my own couch while I see patients over the internet.
That is delightful. Well, I have nothing to add for that. I want to get to our topic of the day. We're taking a lot of topics from our viewers, from our listeners out there in the world. This one comes all the way from Norfolk, Virginia. Kelly V. Kelly V has a very interesting topic that she would like us to talk about. As you know, the pandemic, there's been a run on white bread, meat, milk, toilet products, toilet paper to be in fact. And our top of the day today is DP without the TP. So as you know, DP stands for double penetration. Because there's double penetration, that increases the amount of the fluids to clean up. The more fluids, the more toilet paper you need to clean up.
Let's get to that more later.
Yeah.
Let's first get to our guest.
I agree. I think he's calling in now. Hi there, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience out there?
My name is Sinclair Ryan Daniels. Some people would call me a tycoon, others a baron. I consider myself a businessman.
Can you go over your name again? It's three names, right?
You can call me Mr. Daniels.
Mr. Daniels, yes. Well, thank you, Mr. Daniels. I think you may be the richest person that we've ever had on this podcast.
I should hope so.
What would you put your net worth at?
I stopped counting after the first 10 billion.
Jesus Christ. And so I assume you made your money in oil or oil products?
I started with oil and moved on to railroads and eventually moved on to other companies like slumlords and electric companies and children's basketball stadiums.
Up until the children's basketball, I thought it was just a monopoly way of getting rich.
That's how I first started. I have a hotel on Boardwalk and Park Place.
Nice.
Okay, the children's basketball stadiums did pique my interest. Can you talk about what you do there?
It's simple. My seed has not taken hold. I have no male heir. So I need to find an orphan to perhaps take over when I'm done, one that I can mold into my own image. The easiest way to find orphans is to have free basketball tournaments.
That's right. You have your own version of March Madness, I hear, where it's kind of like a battle royale sort of Hunger Games sort of thing, where one child is the champion.
One child gets a home and food, the others go home. Except they don't have homes. They go back to my orphanages.
So yeah, you're actually monopolizing a lot of this. So you own the orphanages, you own the children's basketball stadiums.
They call that corporate synergy.
Do you even own your own line of shoes, like basketball shoes?
I do, for the children. They're very crappily made. They make their own shoes.
Jesus. So you have your own sweatshops for the children, by the children.
One day I will find a male heir suitable to take over for me one day.
Now, you seem like a really picky kind of guy. What are you looking for in a male heir? Because we can help you out.
Ruthlessness and maleness.
So you're looking for a really macho guy, kind of like David.
No girls allowed.
like a treehouse.
Yes. I would assume I never had a treehouse.
You're not in a wheelchair, are you?
I am now.
You bear a odd resemblance to Old Man Potter from It's a Wonderful Life.
I can stand and walk, but it takes a lot out of me. So I only do it for dramatic purposes.
Oh, God. Wow. That's power. That only took you about 30 seconds to fully stand erect.
Yeah, I'll be sore for weeks.
Oh, talking about sore for weeks, I want to hear your perspective on this topic. It's DP without TP. Now, as we know, there is a shortage on the TP.
Before we get to that kind of penetration, your oil business, were you into fracking or old-fashioned?
Old-fashioned. I like to drill down and watch it sprout out and spray the land like an ejaculate.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so that this must have been before like the EPA started cracking down. You had any run-ins with the EPA?
EPA, the bane of my existence.
You seem very villain-esque. I hate to say it. Do you have like an arch nemesis?
That's offensive.
I'm sorry. It's just
I can't believe you said that, Dr. John.
He's exuding.
What is villainous about me? Who among us hasn't bought an entire town because they wouldn't sell the rights and sent them all packing? Who amongst us hasn't bulldozed a hospital?
That's like if we were to say to you, Dr. John, that you seem like the emasculated, divorced dad who's seeing his kids for the first time in 6 months.
I'm okay. If that's what I exude, I can't help. You can't change a penguin's stripes. So let me ask you something, though. Do you have like an arch nemesis at the EPA? Somebody you really kind of butt heads against?
I do. Josh Christian.
Josh Christian. Is he like would they have CEOs over there? What do they have there?
I've never took the time.
They have
to
administrators.
Learn his
Administrators.
So you're button heads against Josh Christian. Is he a ruthless?
He keeps trying to shut me down.
That is awful. I wish we had him on the podcast right now so we could talk to him and tell him that you're just trying to live your life. You know, you can't change a giraffe's neck. You know.
That's all right. I got my revenge on him.
What does that mean?
I bought the restaurant his mother works at and fired her. She now cleans my house. I have won.
Jesus Christ.
What kind of restaurant was it?
It was a Denny's.
Do you still own it?
I now am a Denny's franchisor.
Wow. That's great because today it just happens to be Dr. John's birthday. Pretty sure he's entitled to a free meal.
Nothing is free. You can have moons over my hammy, but you will be paying for it.
That's actually how we met. You've really taken... I'm sure you're a very busy man, but Delilah and I, months ago, came into your Denny's, and you were walking around, like, doing the whole owner-manager thing, asking how everybody's meal was. You've really invested a lot of time and energy into this Denny's, weirdly.
Every business I'm a part of, I give 100%. I don't get the responses I want when I come to the table and go, is everything to your liking?
I'm impressed that you're still at the oil fields, even though that was your first business.
I never give up a business.
I would have thought you'd been hands off by now.
It's my passion.
It's good to have passion.
Look at it. Glorious.
I can see you're actually on location. Is that in Texas? Where is that?
Yes. I own several thousand oil fields in Texas.
Any in...
I'm here for the basketball tournament that starts tonight.
Given the sunset, I assumed he was in Iraq.
Okay, listen, we're straying a little bit too far away from the topic of the day, which is DP without TP. How to double penetrate when you're living in a pandemic. How about
Speaking
that?
of TP, I read a news article recently where one of his oil fields was butting up against some Native American tribal lands.
Oh, wow.
And I know that's a source of frustration, and there's a lot of people in like social media that are protesting against his oil fields in support of the Native Americans.
Ah, the keyboard warriors. I'm familiar with their work.
So you have a statement to say? I mean, you're poisoning their lands.
True.
I will reach into their lands and take what I need. The strong will survive. The weak will be pulled aside from the chaff.
Is that what Jesus taught? Or I thought you were a Christian.
I'm a Christian when it's convenient.
So let's see. I do want to get back to you've had several instances where you're trying to look for this male heir, and I feel for you. My wife and I, Mildred, she is unfortunately inside an iron lung. She's
My father was in an iron lung. I get that.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are we connected?
I put him in there.
What? Why? How'd you put him in an iron lung?
I made a factory collapse on him.
What?
It was a calculated move. He stood in my way.
Is that how you...
How did you put your wife into an iron lung?
I did not, sir. She has polio, so it wasn't something that I did. Although I may have actually.
I understand.
But I'm trying to figure out here. So besides the putting, I got thrown off. You put your own father, in an iron lung. That is ruthless.
I had to get power of attorney, and it seemed the easiest way.
Now, there's easier ways. You just need a notary.
I will never use a notary again. Not after the incident.
Wait, what incident are you talking about?
The first orphanage I tried to buy. Apparently it wasn't exactly legally binding. So I just had to release the orphans into the wild.
I'm surprised you weren't an orphan yourself, because usually, like, people who were...
I was after I put my father in the iron lung. The ripe old age of 10.
He was smart. He did it the day after Christmas.
All right, I have to ask. I ask this of a lot of our guests. So I have my Mildred. She's in an iron lung, but I still love the hell out of her. Do you have any loves in your life besides oil?
When you are the man of business, there's no time for carnal passions.
Well, so it sounds like you're asexual, and that's fine. A lot of people don't like, sex.
What?
Asexual, somebody who prefers not having sex. But
I have sex.
Care to elaborate?
I occasionally engage in delights. They're gone the next morning.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't think
I'm
I want...
the guy who takes care of it.
Okay. I think for once, I don't want to talk about this sexual topic. Let's get to our sexual topic. DP without TP. So that's double penetration without toilet paper. Now, the one thing is, in order to have double penetration, you do have to have two penetrating bodies.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Have we ever had somebody smoke on the air before?
I know. You're going to town...
I feel like we're giving off a bad, like we're pro-sex on this podcast, but we are not pro-smoking.
I own several tobacco fields. I'm not just the president, I'm also a member.
You know that can stunt your growth.
I'm in a wheelchair. How much shorter can I get?
You'd be surprised.
You can also develop scoliosis, which would kind of make you hunch over in the wheelchair. Now
you'd have to be put in an aluminum lung.
Delilah, I think you're actually your job is actually bleeding into this interview and conversation here. But why don't you go ahead and talk about what do you think as far as Mr. Daniels here? How would you therapy him?
Well,
better men than you have tried.
My medical opinion would be that I believe he suffers from some latent issues with his parents that he hasn't resolved.
I never knew my mother.
That's a start. And then obviously if the last thing you did with your father was put him in an iron lung against
No, the last thing I did was then pull the plug after I put him in the iron lung.
Yeah, that's not a good way to resolve issues with your loved ones. I recommend talking and maybe journaling and getting some professional therapy yourself. It's very convenient now. You don't even have to go in person. We can do it online.
Journaling? The only thing I write in is bank ledgers.
Wait, you still have physical bank ledgers? That makes me think of
how else would you do it?
We're very flexible about what you want to write in. If you'd like to journal in a bank ledger, that'd be fine.
I can't anyway. I've got the basketball game tonight.
I like how you're actually working through this, Delilah. You're really powering through. Who are the hopefuls in the basketball game tonight? Do you have your eye on any young
There's
boys?
a few kids. Caucasian number 4, African American number 3, mixed number 2.
So you're getting a little racial here. Is that?
I don't learn their names. If anything, I'm the good guy here. They all have equal footing.
Well, there's actually, I think you probably heard of this, but there is a Native American actually who is one of the family members of the protesters. So I think that's Native American number 5 or 6 in there.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. Trying to strike at me from within.
Just like the Hunger Games, like Katniss Everdeen.
The what?
The Hunger Games. It's what you're working towards.
Oh, all right.
I heard he had a contract with Nike where they're making a new set of shoes called Nike Airs, spelled H-E-I-R.
Oh, God. Oh.
And the logo is a little boy dribbling the ball behind a guy who's got his back turned to him.
He's really quite talented. At the tournament last night, the bastard made a basket! A bastard in a basket!
This is getting some very Moses vibes here. I like it. So, what besides a male heir? By the way, what do you care? It seems like once you die, you die. You're a very, pragmatic person. I mean, what do you care about a male heir?
I need a child to create sympathy for the next phase of my business plan. Apparently, I don't give off warm vibes.
I tend to agree with that. What do you think, Delilah?
I think that's coming from people that haven't gotten to know him, and that once he created real connections with other people, he'd let his guard down, and everyone gives off large vibes in that kind of an environment.
Warm vibes and a nickel get you nothing in this life. Only tenacity and the drive to do what others won't will.
Have you ever taken a vacation, sir? I think a vacation might do you well.
I don't know what that is.
I think the Sexperts are going to sponsor a trip for you and the heir of your choice to go to Disney World. I think you would love Disney World.
I don't know what that is.
Discover your inner child again. Play. Have fun.
If you don't know what Disney World is, I think you'd be very interested because these places make a lot of money. They make a lot of bank. So if you're thinking about making more money, it's where children children come into these places to have fun and in droves.
They leave crying.
And there's no better example of corporate synergy than Disney. Somehow they've tied mice, sports, and family entertainment together.
My God, they're geniuses.
Speaking of mice, I do want to get to our topic of the day, which is DP without TP. But I'm actually, is that oil sprouting up behind you, sir?
We've struck another one. All right, boys, the cask of bourbon's on me.
Okay, well, I guess we've lost our guest for now. Is there anything before you leave, Mr. Daniels? Anything that you like to plug or put out there into the world?
I will win.
That is terrifying. Well, that's it for the Sexperts. I am your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM.
And I'm Delilah Haydair, www.delilahListens.com. Book an appointment.
And we'll see you sex time.
Let the oil hit the house. They should have moved when they had the chance.
Got it to do, it's simply true. We're the Sexperts.
That's our show. If you like what you heard and you think it was worth $1, join the official Sexperts fan club at patreon.com/Sexperts podcast. A special thanks to the Push Comedy Theater and all of our supporters. Bye-bye.